Dr. Bob segment tonight. National press still very upset about the Trump victory.
Assuming, and that's what we're talking about, that he does win, people I'm speaking to think it's absolutely catastrophic. That it's catastrophic for the United States, that it's catastrophic for our position in the world. It emboldens our enemies and adversaries. It makes our allies terrified that we're not going to be their allies anymore. Most people think that this type of scenario happens.
That man, Richard Engel, NBC News correspondent, not a commentator. Joining us from Washington, Associate Editor of the Washington Post, Bob Woodward. Now, I know you're an old school guy, and you don't think that hard news reporters should comment with their opinion. But we saw that with Martha Raddatz to some extent on ABC News. We saw it with Engel on NBC News. I could give you 20 other examples. So what do you think's going on?
Well, I think in the case of Richard Engel, who's really one of the best foreign correspondents anywhere in the world for any U.S. or even foreign broadcast service, it seems like he might, when he said people he was talking to, presumably those would be foreign government officials or officials here. So I don't think that particular segment crossed the line at all.
All right. Well, I disagree with you, because if he's going to do that, he has to put a name on it. Okay, number one, you don't do anonymous sources because anybody can make that up. Number two, he's got a history, you know, Mr. Engel, of left-wing utterances. And number three, he should be a commentator. He could still be a reporter. You could still send people into the field if they have a commentator label. The best example on this network is Geraldo. Geraldo gets sent to all the war zones, but he's a commentator, and we let everybody know that. Wouldn't that be a fair solution to this kind of stuff?
Well, I don't, listen, this guy goes on the scene in places that are very dangerous. You and I are sitting in our chairs, so I've watched him, and I think he's a really terrific reporter, one of the best. But the larger point you make, there are people who were despondent in the dumps about Trump winning, and I think it showed, and I think that...
It did. There's no doubt it showed. But I said that about Martha Raddatz, who I've known for many years. She's an excellent reporter. Excellent reporter. Okay? But she's on there, and she's ticking off, hey, if you're a Trump voter, this is what you're voting for. You know, and ends up with the Access Hollywood tape. You know, come on. You can't be doing that unless you do it to both sides. All right?
Yes, I think you got to get in the middle.
You've got to do it to both sides, and you can't. But what I'm trying to get at with you is, when you came up, when you were a young reporter at the Washington Post under Ben Bradley, there were strict rules, Woodward. There were strict rules, all right? And when I came up, there were at CBS and ABC, I couldn't give my opinion in the piece, which killed me, but I didn't. All right?
Well,
those rules are gone.
Yeah, but under Bradley, the rule one was don't go on television, and rule two was no gloating. And he had it right, and I think we need to get back to...
You're not going to forget it. It's not going to happen. Newspapers are dying. They're going out of business. They got to be provocative. What about and I'm going to, Chris Wallace was interviewed in the New York Times today, and he said, to his credit, and I got Wallace on tomorrow, hey, you guys, you didn't cover this Trump thing fairly. You didn't, and your editor said you didn't cover it fairly. You were out to get him. That's what you were out to do. So what about that?
I think there's some evidence of that, no question. But if you talk to the Hillary Clinton people, they think, as it pertains to the Washington Post, that we were out to get her. And
how?
We would
In what possible way could you have been out to get her? I read your coverage. All you did was report the facts.
Yes, but we stuck to the email issue, which is important. There are still unanswered questions and all of that.
So how is that unfair?
No, but I'm telling you, people...
Well, anybody can whine about anything, but facts are facts. I'm trying to do this as a journalist, even though I'm a commentator, with facts. I mean,
yes,
if you have a WikiLeaks thing coming out every day, and it has provocative stuff about Hillary Clinton's main guy, John Podesta, you got to report it. You can't say, well, you know, we had too many of them, and we're not going to report it anymore. It's ridiculous.
Of course, and you stick to the facts, but as we all know, what facts are you going to pick? Where are you going to do a major story? And we stuck on the Hillary Clinton email story. If you go back even a couple of years, the Clinton Foundation
but those are all legitimate stories.
Really good. Yes, it is. But people are angry about that.
I think you guys should have done more on the foundation. I think that if you did, you'd find a hell of a lot more than has already been in print. Now let's look ahead.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I think that
well, you should do it, Woodward. I mean, you're not over the hill yet. You're getting there. You're almost at the summit, but you're not over it. You should do it. All right.
Thank you. It's nice to have another assignment editor in my life.
Sure. Anytime you need advice, you know who to call. I think the Post and the other newspapers are going to go after Trump as president. They're going to be unmerciful. I don't see any difference between him as a candidate and a president. He's still going to hammer him. Am I wrong?
Well, I think it's a matter of what are the facts, what's going on. Now, what's occurring, this love fest between Obama and Trump is not something you would expect unless you realize.
They have to.
Sure. Well, it's in the interest of both.
Yeah.
Particularly Obama, because the last thing he wants to do is have 10 weeks of fighting in tension with Trump, and the same with Trump. I think Trump has. Now, you know, how long this will last, we'll see. But I think it's a really important thing. I think what Hillary Clinton's concession speech was the best speech she had. Well, it was. And let's give her credit. Okay. Even you, I'll bet.
Look, I'm just glad that Secretary Clinton can take a break right now. But I will tell you what, Barack Obama is the smoothest, coolest cat there's ever been in the White House. And he's going to be classy right until the inauguration. And then he's going to go out and make $1 gazillion. That's what's going to happen. Hey, Bob, always good to talk to you. Thanks very much.